being a competition rider sounds all great and all that, but it actually can be really difficult. Hello fellow Christians, how are you doing guys? I'm Nolan M Cruz. I'm here to make your life just a bit better, so here we go. So today I want to talk about being the competition rider. I've spoken to you guys a bit about competition riding and how I did the competition side of things for a long time, and how I hated it, and I really started to hate this sport. And then now that I do the classical side, which I like to call classical, and I get ridiculed for it because there's not classical and non-classical, it's right and wrong. Oh gosh, I can hear them all going. You know what, just for my sake, I'm just going to call it classical. Going the competition route didn't work out for me. It made me get really anxiety ridden. Like, I was full of anxiety, nerves, blah blah blah. It just didn't work, mainly because there was no system to it. If you want to hear about some of that, there's a video up there, which is just talking a bit about it. But as I say, I'll do a video in the future about like the real stuff. But I want to just bring up a point about being a competition rider, because everyone thinks that, oh, you go to horse shows, you do this, that, and the other, and you're on a, at that point at Pre-St. George, going up to I-1 horse, blah, blah, blah. And it sounds all great and dandy. Really, it's not. People have this idea that, when you do competition riding and you're up on the higher levels, that it just kind of gets easier as you go up there. And technically, if you're doing it correctly, it's not that it gets easier, but you have this, you've created this foundation down below, that you have a system that it's like this like a pyramid. And I'm not talking about our training pyramid in the dressage. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just, you have this foundation and it just keeps growing up. And you build this relationship with your horse, who's now your partner, and you guys kind of work together to this this goal that you both have, and there's this happiness and there's joy. And although there are struggles and there are obstacles, please know obstacles are something in training. It's a thing. This isn't just, oh, you're doing it wrong, that's why you have obstacles. No, obstacles are a thing. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. But there's a point where when I was riding B and we were working up the levels that, I knew I had to be dedicated. Being dedicated going up the levels is something you need to do. There's none of this, well, I ride once a week, or I walk around the sand ring. No, if you're riding like that, you're not getting up the ranks. And if you do, a touche to you, because I don't see it working, but that's just me. What do I know, right? As I say, I was a very dedicated rider. I had to be, because or else I had this fear inside me that if I wasn't hard going all the time, it was going to turn to become crap the next day I rode, which isn't necessarily true. It was just something that was in my head. As I say, if you guys had watched one of my videos, which I'll link up there, about anxiety and how both B and I had anxiety, and I always felt, while I was training, and that I was doing my week, because I would ride 6 days a week, through cold or heat, it didn't matter. Like, obviously really stupidly cold, you're out of the question. Like when you're going to -20 and all that, you're out of the question. And heat, like if it's like you step outside, you can't breathe, yeah, that's a different situation. Okay, I'm talking about like normal heat versus normal cold, blah, blah, blah. If I didn't ride, I always felt guilty for two reasons, which was, one, I felt guilty because, crap, if we take a day off, when you're not supposed to get a day off, well, we're gonna lose what we've built so far. And I know that's a really stupid thing to think, but the competition side of me said, nope, that's not stupid to think like that. There's always a reason why people think a certain way. But the second part of me was that I didn't do my full 6 days of the week, that it was going to be so much harder to ride this day he came back. So if we took off day 1, day 2 was going to be that much harder, which isn't really true. Yes, if you take off a whole week, it's going to take you a while to get back into it. Yes, that is a thing. But if you take off a day, it's really not going to make a big difference. Yeah, you might be a bit tighter here or there, and you just work through it. But as I say, Nolan back in the day didn't think like that. As I say, it does take dedication to get up the ranks. 5-6 days a week is a thing, and I still to this day ride 5 to 6 days a week. But it's different. My mentality back being a competition rider was very much ride till it's perfect. My mentality now is very different. My mind now kind of goes, you know what? You can bring your horse out and you can warm him up. You can do some fun little school. And you know what? Oh well, who cares if it's not perfect? Oh well, tomorrow I can bring him back out and we can do it again. And it's probably not gonna be perfect then, but we get to practice it again. And oh well, if it's not perfect tomorrow, the next day after that, I can pull you out again. We won't school the same thing, but you know, it's not gonna be perfect, but I can still practice. And then that's when you start to build something. And that's not something I got taught in competition land. I got taught that with the classical side of things, because we don't drill, we don't force things. And I'm not talking, when I say force things, I'm not talking about abuse. I'm not talking about holding the horse and kicking him through. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about keep doing something until you get that goal that you have at the end of the ride. And that's sometimes good to have in the back of your mind when you're, schooling something, blah, 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 that you have an end goal to get to. But if you go too much on that, I found with myself that I was never knowing when to stop. I'll be in the ring for an extra 10 minutes until I get this, but chances are you're not going to get it. I couldn't come to terms with the fact that that's as much as the horse can give you today. Best to say, good job, get off, cool out, whatever, go back to the barn. We'll try again tomorrow. That wasn't in my equation. That wasn't in my mentality. That wasn't in my vocabulary. That was nothing. And I kind of think about that now. And I think about how, now, oh, it's -10. Oh, too cold for me, thanks. See, here's the thing about riding in the cold or the heat. There's a reason why I did it. Most of the time, we always showed in the summer. And as I say, here, it gets quite hot. Not like stupidly hot, but there are times where you kind of go, ooh, a bit hot out there. You kind of have to acclimatize your horse to understand that when we go to a show, I don't get to say, here's my entry. By the way, can you make sure I'm at 8 o'clock in the morning? That way I have the coolest time. Thanks. You don't get to do that. You get your time and that's your time. Unless, of course, you do know the show management and you kind of swindle your way in there. But chances are that's not happening. That was just to get, hey, it's a hot day. Let's ride at noon for today. Let's ride. And you don't go over the top where the horse can't breathe or anything like that. No, we don't do that. But that's why you kind of, that's why I did it, so that he got acclimatized. And that's what, I'll talk about this in another video because, people go, oh my gosh, you're riding at that point. You kind of have to some days. I'll talk about that in another video. And it wasn't always the same. It wasn't like, I go into the dressage ring 6 days a week and I just school. No. I did like 3 days in this dressage ring, 2 days where I went hacking, and a third day we were, actually I took jumps, even though I don't really like jumping, but, B always enjoyed it. You know what, that was how our schooling went. So it wasn't like I was in there drilling the crap out of them. You need dedication to get up the levels. You do, as I say. If you think you're just going to, hop on your horse even 3 days a week, you're just maintaining at that point. And you know what? Something somebody did say to me, which I'm not really a huge fan of the pro, but I do think what they said is very correct. Doing 5-6 days of 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and doing it correctly and doing it well is way more beneficial than doing 3 days of hour-and-a-half work. And that's pretty much my mentality is, you need to have dedication. But as I say, stop to smell the roses. As cheesy and cliche as that sounds, you kind of do need to do that. You need to enjoy, we're doing this, whether you're jumping or dressage or eventing, whatever you're doing. Remember why we're doing it. We are not going to the Olympics, probably. We're doing this because we enjoy it, not because we have to do it. And that is something I lost when I became a competition rider, which was, I had to make it all happen because I need to be in the ring to do A, B, and C. And that really, once again, one of the reasons why I started to hate this sport, because one, there was no system, but also two, it became manufactured in a way. As I say, there was no enjoyment in it. As I say, a lot of people go, oh, well, you're a competition, right? You got to go on all these shows and blah, blah, blah. You know what? I don't want to enjoy showing. That's not something I love showing. But let's just say that I did. You still have to enjoy what you're doing. And the only reason you're going to go to a competition or go to a show or whatever is to kind of present what you have done back at home. And if back at home, all you're doing is going through kind of like motions, take a step back, enjoy what you're doing, because you'll enjoy it. As I say, everything else will kind of clear itself out. You do need dedication to get up the ranks, but when you put that in front of everything else, you kind of start questioning, well, why are you doing it to begin with? Which is exactly what I did. I'm doing the classical side now, and it's much more, take a deep breath, whatever. This is what we have today. Your stepping stones and everything, cornerstones, everything into alignment, and you just build. That's what you do. And you build a relationship with your horse, you build strength, you build endurance, you build happiness, you just build. That's what you do. And that's a lot nicer, in my opinion, than going the competition route. Being a competitive rider, you're not building, you're just kind of putting things in space and then pressing play and saying go. It's a weird thing to explain. I struggle explaining stuff like that because I can't put my finger on what exactly it is that I was feeling during that time. So that's what I've got for you guys today. Just, as I say, a quick look into being what it's like to be a competition rider and going through the ranks that route. Let me know if you guys have gone that route or what you think, or maybe, as I just said, there's something's missing, or what was I feeling? Do you know what I'm talking about? As I say, I'm not really good at explaining that kind of thing because I don't really know what I can't pinpoint what it is, but maybe you know what exactly I'm talking about. So I want you to let me know down in the comments below. I do read your comments. I do follow through with them. Please note that I'm not just, talk to me in the comment section and I will walk away. No, I do read each and every one of them. And if you haven't followed me on Twitter or Instagram, or both, if you haven't done that yet, the links are in the description below and you should follow me. Remember, I do follow Pat Corsi accounts. And while you're at that, when I hit that like button, hit that share button, while you're at that, hit that subscribe button too. I do have new videos up every week just for your entertainment, but also to shed some light on what this horse world is, right? I'm Nolan M Cruz, and I will talk to you later. Ciao!